What's the worst possible way you can say hello or goodbye?
What, just like to anyone? Like
Yeah, just in general. I think toodles or toodaloo.
I was gonna say more like an insult or something like.
Oh yeah, you can
like something they're insecure about and they're like, all right, see you later, blank.
See you later, jiggle tits. That is like for a fat person, I think that's like one of the funniest. But
also, to be fair, it's probably like fat shaming is pretty effective.
Oh yeah, 100%,
it's probably the best weight loss tip
Yeah,
out there.
is.
It's the most painful probably, but
bullied into starvation.
Most effective. The victim of it right here.
Oh, we know. Yeah, I went to the opposite end of the spectrum, didn't I?
Yeah, just do a full 180. Right. So am I starting? Am I gonna like introduce the episode?
Yeah, if you want. I feel like we've already started the episode.
Yeah. What have you got to talk about? Do you wanna start with them or?
Yeah, well. Cool. I'd just like to ask you questions.
Okay.
First one. Sorry. Do you think that your dreams? Do you think they represent your like subconscious mind accurately or not?
It's kind of hard to tell because dreams, like some dreams are just like kind of just kind of like random and weird, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think definitely, yeah, like sometimes maybe you're thinking about like one thing or you're stressing over one thing, then there's usually certain tells. Maybe like that thing's gonna appear in your dream and you're gonna have like a nightmare about it or something. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it's probably just a load of bullshit, but when like someone appears in your dream, they are thinking about you. Have you heard that before?
Interesting.
Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I saw it on like Instagram like a while ago. Have you ever dreamt about me? Have I ever been in your dream?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been in mine as well. What was I doing in yours?
It was
being cool as fuck.
It was a while ago. I remember one time. I remember you got run over.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That's like the only thing I can really remember. You've been in my dreams quite a few times.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Must be thinking about me there.
Fucking hell, you've been in mine, right? Where interestingly, we both had the same sort of pattern because mine we were at a concert and you got trampled.
Really?
Well, I can't remember if it was trampled. It was a while ago. I remember like there was a couple of the boys there. I remember you didn't make it.
Pull the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's because I'm eating. I don't want to be like.
Yeah.
I think there was like a riot or something. I just remember there being fire and then you dying. Did I survive being run over?
I don't know. I just remember it was just like you were a pancake. You were like 2-dimensional on the floor, and it's just a bit weird.
What do you reckon that means? Do you ever Google
I
your
don't know.
dreams?
No.
I do sometimes. I get a lot of cheating dreams. Like,
Really?
just cheating on me. Yeah, it's brutal. Cause
Insecurity.
Yeah, but you wake up in the morning and she's like sent me good morning. I'm like, fuck off.
We should get one of those like there's like all those weird like tarot card readers and like get a palm reading and whatnot and see what our dreams mean.
I'd be very interested to actually do that though. Like even it's just sort of like whether you take it on board or not, it's still something fun to be like, you're gonna die in 18 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they've actually said because my mum's done it once and she said that like not like a tarot reading. What was it? Like a fortune teller or whatever. She said that she was like oddly accurate.
Yeah.
Which is you can't. It does seem like a bit of a pseudoscience because you kind of do and don't want to believe in it because it's obviously there's no real like scientific evidence, but it's kind of like it's like a blurred line, isn't it, of like reality and like are they just making a really broad guess and like oh my god that's so me.
Yeah, like horoscopes and shit.
Yeah.
It can also be sort of comforting because they'll tell you things you'd like. They're never going to be like, yeah, I think you've got depression and anxiety. Like, it's just sort of, yeah, you know, money will come your way.
Yeah, you will overcome this hard time.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I must be.
Like, when you get a fortune cookie, it's like 7 is your lucky number.
It's about like the guy who's like working in a sweatshop. Just 7 is your lucky number like 1,000 times.
God, I fuck with fortune cookies so hard.
Really? I don't think I've ever actually had a fortune cookie.
How are you? What?
I don't think I
Genuinely?
have. Yeah, like seriously.
We can get fucking crystals if you want. I'll get you like 8. Bro, they are so good. They're so easy to eat.
Mm.
And
What does it taste like? It's like a biscuit kind of thing.
it's sort of fucking hell, right? This is an interesting one. How would you like? It's sort of sweet. Like the textures, it's like almost pastry-ish, but
yeah, I can imagine it was pastry-ish.
But like sort of between a crisp and a cracker, somewhere there. I as soon as you try one, you'll know exactly what I mean. But before then, that's actually a very difficult thing to try and describe.
The dream thing is a bit of a weird one because you said about the like if they're in your dreams. I'll probably edit this bit out. But when do you remember? Like, I'll edit this bit out.
Go on.
You know,
better.
with Yo, so post recording. I'm like editing this bit out. Like I'm blocking this name just for privacy reasons. Hope you enjoy the episode, guys. I remember when
you just bleep that out. You don't have to edit it. You just bleep that out.
That's true, actually. Yeah. So so when like just before it was a thing, I remember I was thinking about messaging her. I was thinking, I was contemplating like, should I do it? Should I not? And then one morning I woke up and when I went on my phone, I'd seen she'd added me on Snapchat, and she later said to me when I was like, "Oh, why did you add me on Snap?
Why the fuck?"
She said that I was in one of her dreams, which is a kind of like,
damn. Because you've blurred it out, I'm gonna refer to them as him. No, that is fucked up actually.
Which is kind of like,
maybe she's your soulmate. You just don't know it. Yeah. Yeah, I do not know she's your soulmate.
I don't. Do you believe in that? Like, there's the one.
All right, so again, I'm just skipping this bit of the video because we got interrupted. So yeah, I'm just like skipping ahead to like where we got back onto the conversation. Hope you enjoyed the episode again, guys.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Good question, Larry. I'd like to think so. I feel like I definitely think right person, wrong time is a thing, and I feel like especially with Georgia. So we did break up. I feel like we are more than likely to reconvene at some point.
Right.
Yeah, because it's sort of like maybe it's just that first. I don't even know. You know how they call it like puppy love, but I feel like I haven't felt the same feeling for someone else as I have for Georgia. So who knows?
I personally don't believe
Why?
in the one thing because it's just like there is so many people and it's like there's gonna be like a group, a certain like type of people that you're most likely to get on well with. I don't think there's gonna be like that one special person.
Well, surely there's got to be. Like, you know how enzymes have the lock and key thing? There's got to be someone out of that many people. There has to be one person that matches every single part of you perfectly. Because it doesn't...
Yeah, but surely the chances would be a bit higher because it's like, you got to think it's 7.9 billion people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's got to be... There has to be one person at least.
Yeah, but like it's probably going to be more than one. There's that many people. Like 7.1 billion is such a massive number.
Yeah, I suppose. So are you saying that you think there's more than one?
More than one partner who is like very suited to you.
Okay. So, see, there's a difference there. When I think of soulmate, I think of someone that is like fated together, you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
Whereas the one is like, oh, this is like, I suppose in my head they're different.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think there will definitely be groups of people that you're like, yeah, we like these same things. We can work together. We can communicate. Blah blah blah. But do you believe in fate?
Again, it's kind of like that horoscope and kind of like future kind of reading thing. It's a bit of a pseudoscience, isn't it? Sometimes it's kind of like things happen and it's kind of like, oh, like what? Like he was kind of sort of meant to be like. It's sometimes, especially like maybe you get upset about one thing in the short term, and then the long term you kind of realize like, oh, this was actually meant to be this way, not how I originally envisioned it to be.
Yeah.
It is a tricky one, but I definitely would say I'm leaning towards the yes side because it just seems kind of like
everything sort
Yeah.
of has a reason for it. Yeah, I get that. The way I tend to think about it is because you know how you can't change the future essentially. I always fucks with my head this when they do it in films and it like works for them because it's like the future in essence knows that you're going to do that because that is part of the future. So if I was like, oh, I'm gonna throw this fork in the air, it was already part of the plan. You know what I mean? I just didn't.
Well, maybe you could change that. Like, say if like, oh, today I'm gonna go speak to this person. Maybe what if you didn't?
No, but that's the
Surely
thing.
that's because there's two paths there, isn't there?
Yeah,
Surely.
you get like the decision split,
Right.
but
Oh,
the
you're
thing
talking
is,
about.
the future already knows that you weren't going to. Do you see what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, yeah, I get that now.
So it's like everything you sort of do was already going to happen. It's the illusion of free will.
Yeah. Yeah, no. You don't think there could be like alternate timelines though? Surely, like, because again, like, go back to the decision, like, surely, like, especially maybe like a big event. If I choose to go one way and choose to go another way, surely.
Yeah.
Maybe there's two timelines. Maybe and then there's timelines that branch off of that.
Yeah.
That branch off of that. You know.
Yeah, but I think that they all like it. If I threw my food at you right now,
Please don't.
no, yeah, it'd be a big thing, right? The decision to and not to. You'd be if I did, you'd be pissed off with me. Might get asked to leave, you know, whatever.
You would.
But you would eventually talk to me again. It wouldn't. It would be. You'd hold a grudge for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You'd come back and we'd be talking again. You'd be like, when are we doing the next episode? You know what I mean? You'd do something to get me back. Maybe you'd like hit me in the balls. I don't know, and then we'd be back on track. So I kind of think that they all.
Yeah, that's a sort of a different thing though. Surely than like, because say maybe I decide to move to a different country.
Yeah.
Surely that could, because I could start a new life out there, whereas I could stay in this country and keep going my life here. Surely that's two separate timelines of things that could happen.
Fair, but do you think that if you stayed here, you'd eventually move and you'd be in the same position?
Well, like I do believe I am gonna move,
Yeah,
but like,
I fucking better move. You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
don't want to stay in Mall my entire life. But I could decide to just stay here all my life. Like, I could just like say, oh, I'm just gonna be a hermit and
Yeah.
like just waste away in
Live with
mold.
your mom.
Yeah, like I could decide to do that, or I could decide to go to live it up in, like, you know, Barbados, Marbella, live my life. Not, yeah.
Yeah, fucking sunny mole.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I suppose that's it's hard to think about because it gets scarier the more you think about it, because it's either okay, nothing I do really matters, or there's the sort of comfort in like there's a plan for me. You just know whether that plan's good or not. You know what I mean? Like, I think some people have to die essentially.
Yeah, I think maybe with a lot of like religious people as well, they probably believe in there's one path.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, God has like intended for you.
Yeah.
Maybe they probably be on that side. Mike Tyson talked about it once on his podcast. What did he say? He was on like the side of like God has kind of given you this one path, and he said like he did say as well, like all events will eventually lead to the one path that you're supposed to be on. Like if you've got like a project or a journey you're on, like eventually, whether or not like, so like say like I want to lose weight, that's my goal. I will eventually get to that. No, even if I like put on 10 more pounds, I will eventually get to that as long as I stick to that. But there's also the road of like me just like starving myself to the point where I get to that. It will go to that one path. I think it's just that, is it fate or is it like I can control my destiny? It's a bit of a.
But then, see, the thing is, if you can control it, but then you look at the grand scheme of things, 100 years, our names probably won't be known. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, there will be a day where your name is spoken for the last time.
Yeah, you know, like Macklemore songs, like you die twice.
Yeah.
Like when you're in your grave, and then the last time someone mentions your name.
Like that's
how you get immortality. That's how you get immortality.
Yeah, the Biased and Educated Prejudice podcast will live on.
In the history books.
It'll be immortalized.
Thanks to the internet, it will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It is it's a confusing one.
Do you believe in hell?
Again, it's another tricky one, because if there's heaven, there's got to be hell. If there's hell, there's got to be heaven, and vice versa. But it's like the thing, like, who knows what happens after life?
Yeah, bro. I'm scared of the fact that there's a hell, and that's why so many people follow religion, because of fear. Because it's like, well, I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the idea of forever is a terrifying thing.
You're like burning for eternity, suffering.
Because we always have the out of, it's like, okay, I had a bad day, go to sleep, I'll get through it. You don't get to sleep.
It would be somewhat comforting knowing that, like, especially if, like, say, like, a relative dies, you would like to know that they're going to be in a nice place, wouldn't you? You wouldn't like to think. I mean, sometimes if you hate that person, it would comfort you to think that they're in hell, wouldn't it? Like, they're burning in hell. I would like to think there is, because it's like, it's just a nice place to go, isn't it? But then again, like, it's just your brain. Like, what happens when your brain is switched off? Like, do you just, like, is it just there's nothing? Like, how do you quantify nothing? Like, how can
it's incomprehensible?
How can I visualize nothing in my head? Like, you would think there's like a black empty space, but it's not even that.
Because you're not aware of it. You know what I mean?
Like how do you, like, even if I do nothing, I'm still doing something. Like, if I'm just sitting there, I'm sitting there, I'm doing something, but doing like nothing. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, every time I try to think about it, it frustrates me, because I try to, like, think, because, like, once your brain switches off, like, there's nothing. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's the idea. You don't know you've fallen asleep until you wake up. So it's like, if you're never waking up, it's like there's the spiritual side of it. You know, like, your soul joins the conscience. And then, like, you know, you're part of, like, the whatever the fuck, like, I don't know. It's like, that one's cool, I guess. You know, reincarnation would also be cool, as long as I'm not, you know, as long as I'm rich, white, and straight. Like, you know what I mean? Aside from that, reincarnation does not sound that cool.
Do you think that's real? Because have you seen, like, I remember watching a video online, so it was like some kid who, his parents were like, yeah, he was reincarnated from, like, a 1940s, like, World War soldier, and they took him to, like, some, like, place in Japan where, like, you know, where they fought,
like Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that's in America.
Oh my fucking god! In fucking hell! In my head, I registered that as where Japan fought. Fucking hell! That immortalized clip of me thinking Pearl Harbor was in Japan. Sorry, carry on about this war veteran.
So this 10-year-old war veteran, and they took him to this place, and he just started, like, apparently they showed it on the news, like, he just started crying and, like, screaming and shit.
Well, yeah, if I was 10 years old and you showed me fucking war scenes, like...
No, it was like... Because there's no...
was he just at the...
It was at the place.
Oh, I thought you meant like a memorial thing. Oh.
No, like where he supposedly died. Because he was like a plane guy.
He was a plane guy.
What the fuck do you call it?
A pilot.
A pilot.
Fucking hell. We're stupid. Jesus Christ. We've got our A-level exams in 2 months.
I didn't think about that. Anyway, so this air guy just started... This former air guy, he would, like, you know, dive bomb...
Kamikaze.
Just started... 10-year-old, like, started just breaking down and crying.
Yeah, it's just...
Because he remembered, like...
Yeah. 10's like a sort of a weird age, because if he was like 6, you'd be like, oh, he's just a kid, you know, he's probably shit himself. Like, but 10's a bit of a sticky one.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
The idea of reincarnation is a bit
It's freaky.
yeah, it's questionable as well, because like, would you prefer to be reincarnated knowing absolutely nothing, like you're a clean slate, or would you want to be reincarnated with knowing everything you know?
I'd want to know all the knowledge without any of the people, because if you knew the people, can you imagine if you woke up tomorrow and you're like, hi mom, she's like, who are you, what the fuck are you doing, get out of my house. Can you imagine that fear of people having no idea everything that you've done and who you are and what you've been through together? Like if you came into school one day and no one knew who you were, but you knew who they were. That is brutal.
Yeah.
I could not go through that.
So that you know, the Spider-Man.
Yeah, bro. It's the Spider-Man
when,
shit.
Yeah. When he goes into the cafe and he's just like,
bro, that broke. Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I was like,
Oh, I fucking.
just say something.
I cried. When we can say spoilers, surely. I mean, one, we don't have any viewers, and two, it's like been like 4 months. When Aunt May died.
That was
That made me
that was a
cry,
heavy
and
one.
then at the end I cried then.
It was
Sobbing real boy tears in the cinema.
It was when all 3 of them were like about to like go back or whatever, and they were all gonna forget him, and they were on like the Statue of Liberty like island bit, and it was just kind of like, oh, he's actually gonna like. That's like some emotional strength to be able to like do that.
Yeah, no.
Like to forget everyone and like.
Yeah, the Tom Holland character arc is very interesting, but like, could you do that? Do you think? I don't know if I could. To save everyone, I suppose. Yeah, like fucking the whole multiverse, whatever. But like, I'm thinking me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'd have to be like in a different like country or something where I could start fresh, maybe, to be able to like handle it. Because if I was like if I was living in the same town or whatever, and I walk past them every day and they just like didn't even look at me, and I'm like, and they have no recollection of me, I think that would be a bit more painful.
Imagine you're like swinging, you know, building the building, you look in a window, and you see your ex-GF getting railed. God, imagine if it was by like one of your friends as well. Like, and you just have to do that and be like, all right.
That's why I want to be in a different country.
Yeah, like, that's pain.
The thing is though, it's not as if like they've gone behind your back and done that, because they don't.
You can't be angry because it's
they
like,
don't know you anymore.
No.
So you can't be like, "Fuck you, you're a snake."
Yeah,
like, they're just like, "What? Who are you?"
They were just 2 people that got on. Bro, that'd make me a villain. I reckon if I had superpowers, it would be so easy for me to be corrupt. I would not give a fuck.
What like superpower would you want?
I always think Spider-Man powers would be one of the sickest powers, because they're the most sort of like accessible, if that makes sense. In the sense of, obviously, you know, like Doctor Strange, who can teleport and all that. Doctor Strange's powers would also be fucking sick. But as soon as he loses his thing, he's basically done. Day to day, probably Spider-Man.
Would you like have his like Tobey Maguire's got like
Tobey Maguire, yeah, I'd have Tobey Maguire. None of the fucking web shooter shit. None of me doing that. Like, bro, that'd be fucking sick. What about you? And you can't say Spider-Man because they're mine.
Batman be rich, rich as fuck.
Rich and smart.
Maybe.
It's difficult because there are so many different. I feel like as soon as you get one, you're basically a god.
Oh yeah, of course you are.
Like,
you're like just way above everyone else. Maybe the Flash or like Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool is a good one until you get to the point where you like you're bored of it and you want to die. I feel like there will be a point where you want to die as Deadpool. Surely.
Maybe you would just get so like carefree though, like you don't give a fuck anymore. Like you just start like pissed about with everyone.
Yeah, but then all your friends and family are dead. He doesn't age. Like there's literally a thing where he kills everybody in the Marvel universe because he can. Like, you know what I mean? If it's getting to the point where you're that bored, like, You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe.
Deadpool's powers with an off switch. That would be sick.
Maybe we'll get to like 50 or 60, then I'll just like.
We get to 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Really? You see, now because I'd want to live a little, like, you know, if I mean, like, what's the point in having powers if you see 50 like.
Well, I want to. You said about, like your friends and family.
So you're
going,
saying
like,
you'd then start to grow old.
Yeah, with them.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant as in you'd end at 50 and 60.
No.
Okay. Would you? So if you got them now though, when they're 50 and 60, you'd be 18. Like that, you'd have.
Yeah.
Time travel would also be sick if it wasn't so sort of like technical. You know what I mean?
It's like you can't when you start to like mess with things, like in the past and the future. Then it just gets so complicated and messed up because then it has a knock-on effect of like in every direction.
Yeah.
So it's like the Rick and Morty episode where like they kind of tried to do a time episode, but everything just got so fucking messed up.
Yeah.
Like if I say like I don't know, like if I didn't move to mold, this wouldn't happen. I'd be a completely different person. You'd probably be a different person.
Much better, happier in life. It's not even just that. If we hadn't gone on that walk, if you'd been like, oh, sorry man, like I'm too sore, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. Well, we still might, like you said about the fate, like everything kind of.
True. Yeah, we might
comes to one road eventually.
Might have been, you know, chilling one day, you know. Yeah.
Bro, I want to start a podcast.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I reckon. I don't know. Thank God we did go on that walk. You know, otherwise we wouldn't have this immense viewer base and, you know, lots of money from the podcast.
Well, if I was going to time travel, I'd want to time travel, but just like not intervene with anything and just observe. Like I can't be seen, I can't touch anything, I can't be affected by anything. I'm just watching. I just like to observe like historical moments. I just like to watch what was going on. Would you want to go into the future though? No. Like if something bad was going to happen, like or anything really, but like would you want to see?
Maybe. Well, yeah, I probably would if I could. I'd be like, oh, let's go fuck about. See what cool shit I've got. Or what if you do it and you're like, what if you go like 5 years into the future? It's like, oh, I want to see what I'm like, and it's an apocalypse. Like,
start preparing.
Yeah.
Go back and start like building the shelter and shit and stocking up. So then you could be ready. Like there's like doomsday preppers, isn't there?
Yeah, fucking living your life in fear like that. That I couldn't. That's crippling fear.
I suppose maybe it's not fear though, because you've got that you probably have a community of people, and then plus you're gonna have that backup plan of if things go to shit, I've got a nuclear bunker that I can just go and chill out in for 5 years.
Yeah, but can you fucking imagine living in not being able to go outside to see the sunlight or like any of that shit for 5 years?
Imagine like being blown up by a nuke.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like instant vaporization.
What if you're like not like in that immediate blast zone and you just like
you die to death due to radiation poisoning or some shit?
That's gonna be painful as fuck, isn't it? Like, because you're gonna start like vomiting and like.
That's definitely not the worst of the things there.
Well, no, because that's like the start of it, isn't it? Like,
and then your flesh melts off.
Yeah, it's like, you've seen like the Chernobyl thing, like when the firefighters like
they
got there,
he like touches the graphite with his hands and shit.
They got there and they were fine. Half an hour later, they're like feeling a bit weird. Then they're like throwing up, and then like an hour later, they're all dropping dead. Like
that's so awful.
It's scary as well. I know Ukraine, like they said like because like Russian fire and whatnot. Yeah. There's like radiation leaking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck! They took Chernobyl, didn't they? And they like stopped the water supply or some.
Why? What's like? Yeah, okay. Like I don't understand trying to just invade this random country, but then fucking with like a nuclear like waste site.
Yeah, I think Putin knows he's going to be dead within the next 5 years. I think really, if he doesn't, I don't think he'll die from this, but he'll probably get assassinated or something.
Yeah, I think they are trying to like get him out.
So I think he's just now. Well, I mean, like, you know, fuck it. You know what I mean? He's a madman. Like not like oh, that was beast. Like he is genuinely insane.
Apparently he's got an addiction to steroids. You've seen that in the news.
Join the club, bro. No, like What though? Like, is he?
That's why he's making like so angry. Apparently,
Oh, he's got roid rage.
well, it's pretty clear symptoms. He's got roid rage. He's like
Yeah.
trying to invade the, and he must be on some fucking like mad shit because he's
Yeah.
trying to like invade the world.
Has he got gyno, whatever it's called though?
I don't know.
Ask him. Email him. So many pictures of your tits.
P.S. fuck you.
Yeah.
Right, one of the we got a comment about the
We got a comment.
yeah.
What?
I was telling you about before. My mate Callum wanted to talk about the Eddie Hall.
Oh fucking hell! I didn't even
Thor fight.
think about like the fights that were on. Fucking hell, yeah. I only saw the knockout on a clip. I didn't watch the fight. The fight
It wasn't a knockout.
was it not a
It was
knockout?
a knockdown. There's multiple knockdowns.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't a TKO then. Well,
No, because it went to decision.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh fucking! Tell me the fight. Tell me the fight timeline.
Well, I was like, I watched it like on and off because I was like, also watching the
Yeah,
UFC.
we were watching
between-
what you should have been watching.
Yeah, UFC was fucking
The UFC was
sick.
fucking incredible.
I would have loved to have been there live. It would have
Right.
been mad. With the scenes. Just...
Yeah. Do you watch Paddy the Baddy's vlogs?
No.
Oh, you should. They're funny. He made a fight night vlog.
Mm.
There's a bit after he wins where he's running through like a corridor and he's just all with fans, just all screaming and
Really?
shouting.
That
It's
would
like
be
that
sick.
euphoria rush.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. Let's talk about this fight. We thought we were
Yes.
going to say.
So, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit of a shit fight.
Yeah, of
Like-
course it was. He's 152 kilograms. Like,
Eddie Hall, it's been going for like 2 years now that it was
Yeah.
sort of announced. And I don't know what Eddie Hall has been doing because like he didn't look as if he had learned anything.
no.
Because he would literally be like, and then Thor would kind of just like it kind of highlighted the importance of a jab because he would just like jab,
Yeah.
and Eddie Hall just did not know what to do because he would like lean back and then Thor would step in again and just catch him, and then he'd step out and Eddie Hall would be like, and then it just kind of went on that, and then Thor kind of got some shots off eventually and put him down quite a few times, and Eddie just looked like an amateur. Like I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
He sparred with KSI's old coach.
Oh, like Vidal Riley.
Yeah. He sparred with them. I haven't watched the video, but like, surely you'd learn something from that. Like,
Yeah, you'd at least. Oh god. See, this is the thing that pisses me off. Is it's like you can get better quality fighting watching street beefs, but they're gonna have made so much fucking money from that fight.
it's because they're celebrities and like people are like, oh, it's a celebrity. I want to see them try and beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Like Eddie talked a big game,
Yeah, of course he did.
but he did not. He did not back it up
No.
at all.
I saw like a bit of the press conference
Mm.
where like it was just sort of like corny, you know what I mean? Like Eddie was saying some shit about his mum, and then like,
Yeah, you should have been watching the UFC.
yeah, because
not
the UFC, bro, that whole card. I missed the first couple of fights because I was in work and I was fuming.
Mm.
Because Muhammad Makayev or whatever, he got a 30-second, or was it? I think it was 59-second submission. And then Jack Shaw, the Welsh guy, won by decision. Ilya Topuria or whatever won,
Mhm.
which was a good. Did you watch them?
I only watched
Do you only watch the main card?
yeah, 'cause I was in work, and so we started watching it in work.
Nice.
Was it the first or the second fight of the main card?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it was, but it was a good scrap. Who was it? Who was on the first fight of the main card? I'm pretty sure it was a knockout.
I know. I think Molly was second. Paddy was third.
Yeah.
I'll just search for it. UFC Fight Night. Was it 51?
No, I'm sure there was someone in between Molly and Paddy. It was UFC Fight Night.
Yeah, UFC Fight Night London. No, that's 171. Oh no. Hang on.
The Tom Aspinall fight was good as well.
Tom
Like
Aspinall fight was sick.
he looked really good.
Yeah.
When he like ducked under the punch and then shot the takedown,
Bro, yeah.
that was so smooth.
When he started, he rolled under the punch on the ground, stood up, and
Oh, yeah.
and he smiles, and they both smile at each other
Yeah.
because they both know that was fucking sick. And then he slips. Was it a right hand or a jab?
I think it was It might have been a jab, yeah.
Yeah, because he slips it, shoots the takedown, and then he gets a straight thingy. I thought it was a Kimura, but it's a straight arm armbar, which no one ever taps from. Because all it is he's just pushing his arm like that. He's lying over him and he's pushing his hand down.
I don't know anything about like arm locks and submissions and
fucking
shit.
loser.
Oh, God.
2022 card. Nah, yeah, it was decent. Hang on, here it is, I think. So, Aljamain Sterling versus Pyorian. I'm excited for. Pyorian's gonna kick the shit out of it.
I can't fucking wait.
Funk
I watched the first fight, and I remember when he like kneed him, and then you remember watching him roll about on the floor, and I was just kind of like,
yeah, it was a fucked up knee, bad. But have you seen the video? His corner, half of his corner, tell him to knee.
It's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, because they're Russian dudes. Like that's why he. Oh no, it was a different card because of visas, wasn't it? So it was Ilya Tapora beat Jay Herbert second round after being like the first round he was dominated and then he just caught him. Then it was Molly McCann with the fucking spinning elbow.
That was mad. That came out of nowhere,
bro. It was in the vlog. You see her in the back practicing it, and it's like when you know that this was planned, makes it so much fucking cooler. Then it was Gunnar Nelson versus Takashi Sato. That was decision. Then it was Paddy Pimblett versus Kazula Vargas. Good fight. Very like watching Paddy, like the way he celebrates. It's just like that's sick. And then it was fucking Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker was so sad.
Yeah,
I was
watching Dan Hooker. I don't know why he went down. Why would he go down and wait? I know obviously like in the 155 division is kind of like it's a very tough division.
Yeah, it's stacked.
But like he's already like a very big 155 pound.
Yeah, he was like that's the thing, isn't it? That whenever you cut down, you're always gonna lose some of your chin. And he cut down so much, and then Arnold Allen, who is a very talented fighter, how is he 10-0 now?
Yeah, he's undefeated and that,
which is crazy. Like, just watching him, he's gone like 1-4 in his past fights or something, and it's like, but Dana White said he can do whatever he wants because he's such a like staple name, which is sick.
What would you do if you were down? Would you go back to 155 or 170? But 170 is like some big guys at 170, isn't there?
Is 170 Usman? Yeah,
I got like Shemaev.
Oh fuck yeah, bro! Hamzat Chimaev, I'd retire. Hamzat Chimaev will be champion, and that's a fact. Izzy and him will be the toughest thing, but as soon as he goes down, Izzy's done.
Oh, do you think Hamzat's gonna move up?
Oh, is he not talking, bro? He talks about fighting everyone.
Kill everybody. Yeah. Kill everybody.
I saw Darren Till talking about how he wants to fight Izzy, like Hamzat does. Right. I think he will. I think because he fights in 2 different weight divisions so far, doesn't he?
Well, he has, yeah.
So it's like, and he's taking like
welterweight's his main division right now.
Oh well, then
because he's fighting Burns. He's on the Sterling card.
Oh yeah, true.
That's gonna be a good fight. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. Who welterweight champion is? Don't tell me. Why? Fuck. No, Volkanovski's featherweight. Welterweight is Why has that just gone out of my head?
You just said it before.
Fucking hell, that's
Usman.
Oh, dickhead. Roid head Usman. Bro. The sort of like steroid use in UFC is scary.
It's a bit it's an intelligence test rather than a steroid test.
Yeah.
Who's got the best like easy to hide drugs that can't be detected? Who can like stay ahead of the actual drug testing labs?
And bro, the fact Mike Tyson said it is that steroids should be allowed in every other competition because you should be able to see how far the human body can jump or how fast it can run, but not if you're fighting another human being because you could take a life. If you took a life, would you like in a fight, like in like a sport fight? What do you do? Because there was a boxer that did that, wasn't it?
There's multiple. Okay, there's plenty of occasions where a boxer's died in the ring. Some don't like can't fight again.
I couldn't.
Like they're like guilt or whatever. They can't do it. It was Ray Boom Boom Mancini against some other guy, and it was quite weird how before the fight the other guy had brought a coffin with him to the fight and was like, it's either going to be me or him in that coffin. And this is the fight, because it was still 15-round fights in boxing at this point. And after this fight, that's when everyone was like, okay, 12 rounds only, and they introduced the standing 8 count afterwards, because it used to be once you got up off the floor, once your hands are off the floor, then like your opponent can come in and hit you. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
You see that like Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard. When Jess was on the floor, Dempsey's like the ref doesn't make you go to the opposite corner. Like the ref just like watches, and then you see like Jack Dempsey like standing there waiting for him. Once his hands leave the floor, it's bang, 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 back on him. He's fucking mad. And not Ray Mancini, but the other guy. He was stopped. He knocked out in the 14th round, and he left on a stretcher, and he ended up going into a coma and then passing away.
Yeah, bro. Fucking, boxing's more dangerous than MMA, in my opinion.
I think it's because I've been thinking about this. Because we've got bigger gloves, you'd think,
More padding.
right, more padding is going to be a lot safer, but you're not going to get knocked out as easy, so you're going to take more blows to the head.
Much more like trauma, and then also the standing 8 count. If you get knocked out, if you can, like Tyson Fury comes back from the fucking dead. He was knocked out, but he came back. Like, you don't have that in MMA because the risk is so high with such small gloves.
Yeah, because if I get hit with a big head kick, yeah, it's very traumatic and I get knocked out, but I'm not gonna get any more.
You're gonna take no.
That's one.
Yeah, you might take. Say if you get head kicked, you might take an extra punch on the ground, which is like a bit dodgy when fighters do that. But it's like, yeah, I understand in the heat of battle.
It's two.
Yeah,
it's two blows. But then if I'm like, I get hit with like a 10-punch combination over 36 minutes. Or 45 when it was 15 rounds. That's a hell of a lot more punishment, and especially if, say, like I was getting hit a lot to the head, I could try and take it to the ground. I can't really do that with.
You can't do it on boxing. Fucking,
like
you should like try and clinch, but even then, it's like
yeah.
There's a lot of you see a lot of like early stoppages in MMA because refs are so scared of, like, you see they want to protect you essentially.
That's their job, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're in charge of making sure you don't die.
But with boxing, I've seen more late stoppages in boxing than I have early stoppages in UFC. Like I saw a couple of ages ago where the fighter's literally shouting at the ref in boxing, stop the fight, because he can't, like, it's just like who was the guy who got hit in the back of the head and then is now like in a wheelchair and shit?
Yeah, I know who you're on about.
I don't know his name.
I can't remember his name, but that ref should have been fired. Should have been banned.
Yeah,
because he got hit in the back of the head multiple times. Didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's sort of prison. I feel like if it's when your job is people rely on you, their lives, they put their lives in your hands. I feel like that's prison. That's like manslaughter or something.
And that boxer probably shouldn't fight again because he was fighting incredibly dirty, like punching the back of the head, knowing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't like punch someone to the back of the head and think, oh, multiple times. I think, oh,
yeah.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like you're clearly doing it for some reason. There's another guy. Do you know who Jell McLennan is?
No.
He was a really good, like, he could fucking like hit hard, and he had a fight with Nigel Benn in the 90s, and he almost knocked Nigel Benn out. Like, he knocked him out of the ropes, but Nigel Benn like fought through, and like Nigel Benn could also punch like a fucking horse as well. And at one point in the fight, Gerald McLennan started blinking a lot. Like started like he was like doing like that.
Yeah, I've been there. When you hit me in the fucking nose, it's like.
Well, no, 'cause it was like it's different from that.
Yeah, I imagine I'm taking the piss.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that you hitting me twice in the nose is the same as that shit.
I can't. I think he got. Did he get? I think he got stopped as well, and was he? He was either stopped or knocked out. And then he later went in, like, had like a brain injury and whatnot, and now he's like vegetated as well.
That's so sad.
I don't think Nigel Benn might have fought again afterwards, but like there's a video of him like seeing Gerald in the wheelchair, like coming to see him, and he just starts breaks down and cries.
I'm not surprised.
Just like seeing like doing that to a man, it's
because
it's horrible.
You're against each other. Your opponents in that moment It's why I always like to see respect after a fight, because it's like you're both there to get paid and to win a fight, but it doesn't mean that you are necessarily against each other. It's like that just because you're the bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It's like
the refs there and the corner is there to save the fighters from themselves, because if you're a fighter, that's what you do. No matter, even if you're hurting, you keep going. But there's a certain point where like someone needs to pull the reins in and kind of stop you from doing that, because that's when like the permanent injuries come and the long-lasting injuries come.
Yeah, the fucking, you know, the shakes and the CTA.
Seeing like Muhammad Ali,
It's so
like
sad.
like when was it? I think it was '84 Olympics when he was like holding up the Olympic torch, and you see him walking up like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Do you think that because back Muhammad Ali, what is Muhammad Ali's official record? Do you know?
probably like 60 or 77 fights.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a lot of fucking fights. The average person won't have that many. Do you think that that is still as prevalent of an issue?
What, the amount of fights you have?
No, I mean, as in, because we have so much less fights now. Do you think that the sort of long-lasting damage, like, do you think it's still an issue?
Yeah.
But do you think it's the same severity?
No, definitely not, because especially like in the very early days, like in the 30s and 40s, like boxers would fight multiple times a month, wouldn't they? Usually now, if someone takes like, it gets knocked out, they are mandated to take a few months off and get multiple brain scans to make sure that they're sound to go back in the ring again. Back in those days, they were like, oh, I got knocked out, all right, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Take a paracetamol, sleep it off.
Yeah, like, they were built fucking different back in those days. But a lot of more people would have been like, more like especially after their career, very fucked up.
Yeah.
It's quite scary. And then again, they fought 15-round fights. Even like before the 15 rounds was in, they would just fight until someone gave up.
Yeah.
They'd go on for like hours. Hours. Imagine fighting for hours. It's been like 2 hours, and you're both standing there like your jaw's broken, and you're fighting bare knuckle.
Yeah, bro. Fucking early UFC where they'd fight in bare knuckle and they'd wear whatever the fuck they want. Like, I think Royce Gracie won the first official UFC. Oh shit. Kenzie. Nice. You should have had him make a surprise guest appearance on the podcast. Yeah, like Royce Gracie wins by like submission, but they're all just wearing whatever the fuck they want. He's in a gi and like just bare knuckle.
I watched like the first couple of like Royce Gracie fights, and I remember he just kind of like he would run at him, feint like a knee, and then just shoot a takedown.
And then
No one really knew about jiu-jitsu then, did they? So
No.
you could just spam that and he'd win.
Yeah, basically.
It's just that one move and he'd win, wouldn't he?
Fucking hell. God, to be that good at like jiu-jitsu where you are so comfortable as like you can't touch me.
I still haven't read his book. I need to read this book there. I really want to read
like
it.
poser.
I am. Like, I'm gonna like go.
Oh shit, what time
Like
is it?
it's 5:30.
Oh fuck, well, I'm fast.
Yeah.
Damn, well, you know. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been the Biased and Educated and Prejudiced podcast. I'm Yannick. That's Louis.
Thanks for watching, guys.
See ya. Sweet. Episode 5.